Hello, welcome to a new year of Love Food, Hate Money. I am still your host, Jonah, and this is going to still be your co-host, Courtney.
Hey.
And welcome to a new year of food.
Woohoo! Guys, we did it. It's 2023.
Another one.
We made it.
More food time.
We're doing it.
Still will be tasting drinks this year, and this one is very important.
So important, guys. This is probably the most important thing.
Episode's brought to you by water. Don't have anything else around that is cold that we want to drink right now.
Well, so we know that some friends are doing Dry January.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, oh, that does sound like a good idea. And so I think we are going to do a dry-ish January.
Sure.
Because we do have a trip planned later in the month.
Where we'll probably have a drink or two.
Some fun restaurants, and we're probably gonna drink. So,
but not go crazy.
Not go crazy. I feel like this is the year where we really start to like take care of ourselves. Maybe, I don't know.
Sure. Like
hydration. Just that one thing. Let's just nail that.
Just drinking primo water from your local Fry's or Kroger or Ralph's or whatever you have near you.
True. I honestly, though, like, bad tasting water is such a bummer.
I agree. It's funny to go to restaurants whenever, like, a restaurant has bad water.
Oh,
real letdown.
Bad restaurant water is the worst.
Because then you feel trapped.
Well, it's like you feel pressured to order a drink, and then you're like, is this on purpose that their water is this bad?
They're poisoning the watering hole. They're like... If the water's not potable, they'll have to order some wine.
They'll have to order medieval water.
Mm-hmm. This beer hides all sin.
We do have to do a couple housekeeping things before we get into the episode. We have to start using our cookbooks now because our wonderful friend Becky got us a cookbook stand for Christmas.
Yeah, it was very nice.
It's gorgeous.
Now Maddie Matheson stares at me every time I look into the kitchen. And that's good for me.
And it's so funny. Like, she was just like, perfect. I have an ideal gift for you. And that made me so happy. And then we basically just have to walk back everything we said about the gift guide episode. Because we were like, a Vitamix blender, who gives that as a gift?
True.
My parents gave us a Vitamix blender.
Very nice of them.
For Christmas, they got us just one nice gift, and this gift is...
I don't think we have to walk back the gift guide because, like, yeah,
it feels bad.
Sometimes people can gift that as a gift, and that's nice. So,
well, I think what I appreciate is it was unexpected. We still use my parents' Amazon account because we're poors. But she
can't say that too loud. They'll find us.
I know. But she did it as like a hidden order.
Yes, that's typically how gift giving goes on
that. Because everybody else, all the other family members saw all the gifts. All of them. Everybody knew.
Oh.
But I had no idea we were getting this. And I opened it and I was just like in awe.
You're like, that's a nice blender.
I was like, man, now
you haven't actually opened it yet, though. Maybe there's something else inside. That'd be so funny.
It's just rocks.
Wait, like a month later.
Box.
Got the box a month later. She's just like, wow, you still haven't complained that wasn't actually a Vitamix. That's crazy.
I think I'm nervous to open it.
That's right.
Like, it's too beautiful for me.
Sure.
I don't deserve this.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
we're only eating...
in awe of a blender.
As soon as I open it, we're only eating pureed foods.
Just smoothies.
That's it.
It's going to be like getting my wisdom teeth removed all over again.
All over again. So... today we thought we would do that typical New Year's thing where we would talk about our goals for the year because I think,
not resolutions because I have no resolution.
Because I think there's like this weird thing where it's like if you fail your resolution, like you just feel crappy about yourself.
Yeah, we don't need any extra reasons to do that.
No, we already feel bad about ourselves. So we figure you set some goals and you set goals that are long-term, short-term, whatever you can handle at the time, and not make it this big, like, man, I'm going to go lose 200 pounds in this next year. And it's like, oh, okay.
God.
That's
going to wait.
not probably the healthiest way you could do that, but all right.
I'm like, I think I weigh 215 right now, so if I set that as my goal, I'm going to be a bowling ball by the end of it.
You'd be my favorite bowling ball.
Thanks.
So why don't
my
you
favorite
start?
bowling balls are the ones that have the funny designs on the inside, where they're like translucent. There's one that was like a slice of pizza. I remember as a kid growing up, really wanted that.
Give us your first goal for 2023.
Now that I'm thinking about it, the bowling ball kind of sounds nice. As far as things that I planning on working on, like getting general certifications in lots of professional avenues, venues. I don't know how exactly I would word that, but sommelier, cicerone,
associated certifications.
Yeah, stuff that I can pop onto the end of a resume instead of instead of having my resume say where I've worked and then my hobbies is sometimes I play games. My hobbies is sometimes I study too much about miscellaneous things. Right. So I think that is probably my main side goal this year.
Your side quest?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's call them, instead of goals, we'll call them side quests.
Well, what's the main quest this year then?
Surviving.
Oh, yeah. I guess that's always the main quest every year, isn't it? But yeah, side quest is sommelier first. I am in the level 1 through CMSA right now, so my goal is to have that. My goal is to technically be ready to take level 2 by March-ish.
Yeah.
Which would require some pretty heavy studying because there's a lot of theory and things that I need to work on, but technically manageable if I actually did it because I usually can cram well.
Yeah, I think you'll do great.
And then the Cicerone stuff is interesting because I know less about beer, specifically like the making and the history. Like, oh, okay, you need to use this malt for this beer, or you need these specific hops to make this style. So I think there'll be a lot more learned in that area.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's my first side quest, I guess.
Your first side quest?
Yeah. How about you?
My biggest one right now, I feel like since November, my time management has just gone out the window. Like with the holidays and stuff, I just have been so overwhelmed and have put a lot of pressure on myself to do a lot of things that I normally do, but there's been some other circumstances. And so like my first big side quest is just getting my time management under control.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to get to a place where like I have a schedule, I have a routine, I have just plans laid out.
Sure.
And I feel like it's been very hard to get anything done.
Yeah, I think that's been an issue with both of our schedules in general. Is
all the variables, I think.
It's just, it's all, there's the things that you want to do and there's the things that you need to do. And like working is a need that we have to do.
Yeah,
but
unfortunately.
There's also, I don't know, it's hard because our work schedules aren't consistent. So building the structure around something that's not, like I work at nights, that's the only structure of my schedule.
Right.
Sometimes I work 3 nights in a row. Sometimes I work 10 nights in a row. And so it's not like the office job days or even like the last restaurant that I worked at that had the set days off.
Right.
It was like,
same schedule every week.
I know what this week it looks like exactly. Like there's a lot more planning that has to go into it.
Yeah. And I really feel like for me, this podcast and like the Love Food, Hate Money, I don't know, I guess brand, it's not really a brand, but like ultimately my goal would be to move more towards like making this.
It's not a brand, it's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle, guys, okay? But making this more of what I would love to do as a job. Like if I could get the website finished, which again, that's like part of my procrastination thing and my struggle with time management, and get, recipes up there and get the merch on there and stuff like that would be really exciting for me. And I feel like I've been struggling with that. So that's like my first main.
Especially because it's going to be really fun to have all of your Courtney technical challenges up on the internet and be like, how do you make scones? You'd be like, flour, butter.
It's just ingredient list.
Make the scone.
I just want to see people struggle to understand my brain.
That would, it's a fun thing.
I think it'd be hilarious.
General is to put them up as
how I think.
well, it's not even how you think, but like give people a frame of reference of like these are the ingredients. Now try to make scones. And then
I mean, a lot of people would
have
be able
people
to.
send that in.
Yeah. Send me your method.
Send me your scone.
What's your next one?
Let's see. Getting the different certifications would be nice. That's another solid goal. I think that I'm sort of there with you with the time management stuff. I feel like recently it's been difficult to get different things done because the days are so kind of free flow. Getting some sort of control over it would be nice in general as far as a goal. I think I want to come up with more fun, like shirts and merch and affiliated things, silly dumb stuff. Because I've seen a lot of silly dumb stuff recently. Where I was like, I was excited
about. Oh, talk about the one hat that you found that you were just loving.
Mr. Parmesan is I guess a lifestyle brand also that is on the internet, and it's
what we aspire to be. Honestly, it's so funny.
Someday I want to be that cool, but they've got all of this like really great shirts and hats and things like that are just ingredient names on things. So they've got like a bucatini bucket hat.
So funny.
That's incredible.
I love that.
They've got a bologna, like a hat, a corduroy hat that just says bologna on it, and it's just wonderful.
It's just so good. I'm just mad we didn't think of it first.
So coming up with more things like that without directly stealing from other places. Because what is the line on that?
Yeah, that's hard.
It's like recipe development, where it's like, yeah, I'm not the first one that has made this thing. So what can I do to it to make it not just directly stealing from someone else?
Right, exactly. Not copy paste.
Mm-hmm. So I think trying to work on being creative in that space, I guess.
Cool.
Do you have any other quests?
Yeah, my next one is moving.
Yeah. I feel like we haven't really talked about that.
I don't think we've like really announced it. I think we've joked about it, but we are really seriously trying to move to San Diego.
Yeah.
Which is really big and scary. Like we've only moved like within a 20-mile radius.
It's a spooky 6 hours.
Like our whole lives. So.
But quick aside, I keep saying 6 hours to everyone. I got yelled at by like 3 members of my family today. I'd be like, that's a 4-hour drive. And I'm like, are you trying to die?
Oh my God, it is not a 4-hour drive.
Like, yeah, you just go 100. And I'm like, I mean.
Okay, you do, I don't.
Some spots on the 8, I guess, it's not wildly illegal to go 100, but because speed limit's what, 75? So
yeah,
90 is to that point where it's like, well, we're hitting criminal activity.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was a very funny aside.
I'm so glad that they are excited for the 4-hour drive. Yeah. I'm still gonna take us 6.
Yeah. I like to stop at Taco Bell on the way.
Yeah, you gotta stop in Yuma.
Shout out Yuma, Arizona.
Shout out Yuma, Arizona, baby. Lettuce capital of the Southwest.
They got lettuce and they got heat.
Yep. So yeah, I think that's like such a big, and I guess it's not unique generally, but it's unique to us challenge.
Sure.
So we've never moved out of state, and I think that it's really exciting to experience a new food scene. I'll be so interested about you working in the industry there. I'm currently working at a nonprofit and hoping to get a job at a nonprofit out there that I really love. So it's just like a big, exciting new thing. And it's
funny when you word that because you've talked about the podcast as like wanting to be your new
Dude, I want this to be my job. I would love for this to be my job, but I'm also very realistic in the sense of.
And I was just going to say, because it sounds like you're calling this a nonprofit, which is the truest thing.
This is a nonprofit. This is a communist nonprofit podcast where we make nonprofits at all.
We've made so many nonprofits.
We are making the most nonprofits.
Speaking of nonprofits, I'm excited because after this, we should talk about, after discussing all of our quests, I think the next thing we got to talk about is all of the food prophecies of the year, because those have been funny to see pour through.
We did an episode on food trends for 2023.
I know, but there's so many more. It's just there's so many people making so many claims. It's wild to watch.
Maybe for the next episode. But yeah, moving to San Diego. That's crazy.
Yeah. I
If
mean,
anybody has tips on moving out of state, please email me. Please send us a DM. I'm terrified.
I don't know why.
I don't know. I'm just a nervous person. I just
Yeah.
have the anxieties.
Just 6 hours.
4.
Or 4, depending on how fast you go. I guess that's the other like side quest for me is getting into a routine and going out and doing that. I think it should be pretty exciting. Finding, I mean, it's all sort of tied together with getting the different certifications. Like it'd be nice to walk out to a new food city and be like, hey, look,
Please hire me.
I know how to do 2 things, please.
Well, and I think it'll be interesting too for you because there is an opportunity to work in Michelin restaurants.
Yeah.
Michelin, assuming they want you.
I mean, that's a big assume. You know what they say about doing that. No, it'll be interesting. It's funny because some of the places that I worked at out here, like obviously if the guide was out here, they would have some degree of recognition, but it's right. Interesting to see what that actually would translate to. Big excite, big scary.
Big scary, but big fun.
It'll be good. I think that's, I mean, the only other like real quest of the year. It's kind of the big one. It's survive and then get that done. But that won't be for a little while now. We still have
plenty. We have a couple months.
Fun things to look forward to here in the desert.
True. Another quest that I have set for myself, and actually my sister-in-law is doing this with us, or doing this with me, which is really exciting, is I have decided that in the next 2.5 years, I would like to be conversational in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the things that part of my time management, I think it all really just goes together. It's just like trying to live a more productive life.
Sure.
And making time to actually learn a language. And I'm still kind of kicking myself for not spending the pandemic doing that.
Mm-hmm. There was so much anime to watch.
There was so much Animal Crossing to play.
I forgot about that.
But I think with moving even closer to the border, obviously where we live now in Phoenix, there's plenty of Spanish speakers. But even moving closer to the border and having 15 miles away to Tijuana, which the food there sounds fantastic.
It'll be interesting to have that as an option.
And lots of people have already been like, that's scary, don't do that. And I'm like, well, too bad.
We don't live our life in a whole bunch of fear.
Not afraid.
I think it's funny how that part, you're like a nervous person about lots of things, except things where people are like, that could potentially be dangerous. And you're like, nah, you're just being a little racist. That's okay.
You know what? I'm not afraid of people. I think that's like I don't like confrontational situations, obviously. I don't think anybody does. But generally speaking, if I'm going to a place and I'm behaving and conducting myself in a way that is respectful to people, I just kind of assume that they are going to do their best.
I mind my business, you mind yours.
Exactly, to kind of reciprocate that. And so when we've traveled, when we've done all that stuff, like I would rather just be optimistic and see the best in people and assume that like, no, we're all just trying to survive. We're all just trying to eat. We're all just hanging out. And like, obviously some people have bad intentions and that's its whole thing, but generally.
Right. And it's also real hard to like, I mean, you can, but it's one of those things where if you're constantly worried about like, is that man going to mug me? Jesus.
That's just a sad way to live.
Just a nervous Nelly.
And I also just really want to have a Caesar salad, where Caesar salad comes from.
Is it in Tijuana? I thought it was farther south.
No.
Huh.
Look it up.
I believe you. I knew Caesar salad was
Caesar.
From Mexico. I didn't remember that it was from Tijuana.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you guys can fact check me on that, but yeah, I'm excited to learn Spanish and get to a point where I can communicate to a whole new group of people. I think that's so fun. I think that it opens a lot of doors, a lot of opportunities to have cool experiences. So hopefully my little tiny pea brain can figure it out.
don't even know how I'm supposed to respond to that. I hope that you have 2 peas for your brain. I don't think I have any other real quests or goals per se. I think that sort of rounds it out just in general, like sort of taking control and initiative of things, and also I guess continuing to work on like what sort of contentment is okay without getting too complacent. I think that's something that I struggle with, where like in general I'm fairly content with life, and then there you get to a point where you're like, but I could have done 15 other things.
Sure.
And so balancing that out.
I think that's one of the things that makes a career in the food and beverage industry so interesting, is because you can't learn it all.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's never a point where you go, I'm an expert. Next.
Or if you do become like a master in anything, or you're just like, okay, do you keep going? Do you retire?
There's still going to be something new, though.
What's past the pinnacle and all the other stuff to call back other?
Right, exactly. So I think that can also be overwhelming, because there's so many little different things you can learn. I mean, specifically for you as a server and a career server, the different certifications, learning about alcohol, learning about food, learning about preparation, learning service styles, like you could really get overwhelmed with that.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can really hone in and be like, these are the things I want to specialize in. This is what's important to me and what interests me. Let's go for it.
Yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot to learn, and it's funny because you can, up to this point, it's been, you sort of go with whatever restaurant needs you to focus on scenario. And I think that'll be interesting to see how that continues to evolve, and what sort of general things that I know I can apply to all the hyper-specific scenarios.
Exactly.
It'll be fun.
It'll be good. And so I guess my last question is for you, the listener.
What are your quests?
What are your quests this year?
What does your little gold exclamation point above your head say?
What is the NPC saying to you?
Yeah.
And also, we would love feedback. What do you want to hear from us in the next year? What are things that are...
Yeah, give us a goal.
Give us new goals. We're not busy. We have time. We would love to know what we can make that makes your life better. Because honestly, like, hearing us just sit here and ramble is like fine and good. But
it's hard to get past perfect. But if we were to...
we're already doing the best.
If we could work on something.
Is there something you want to learn? Is there something that you want our hot takes on? Is there just something that you find interesting and you want us to do more research and tell you about it?
Example, did you all know that the Boda box bags of wine?
Bags of wine.
Slap the bag.
Slap the bag.
We all make fun of it. It is great branding. I've learned recently that the Boda is a traditional like Spanish drinking horn bag thing, but it's like a little leather pouch that you put your wine in. So the Boda box, whoever did the branding on that,
genius.
Just a wise soul.
It's so smart.
So smart. If you want more useless facts, let me know.
Yes. Well, and I think too that's one of the things that I love about food and its ties to culture is just there's so much to learn.
So many.
It's so exciting. Things. There's always something new. So as we learn new things, we want to share that with you. If there's things specifically you want to know about, we'll try to learn. Then we'll tell you about it, and we'll be wrong, and that's totally fine too.
And that's science, baby.
And then if there's guests that you want to hear, let us know. Tell your friends who you think would be good guests. Hit us up. We are so open to that. We are so excited.
Especially have experience managing in chain restaurants, because that always fascinates me.
We're looking for Taco Bell managers. Apply with him.
Mm-hmm.
But we're working on getting some fun people. We are going out on a limb and reaching out to people that are way above our nonprofit pay grade.
True.
And we just want to make this like a fun, cool thing.
Yeah. We're going to keep getting better and enjoy talking at you all, and maybe you'll talk at us too at some point.
True. Keep sending that hate mail.
Love the hate mail. It fuels me.
And then we have to say big thank you to John for editing and creating original music. Obviously, we shout him out at the end of every episode. But he's been doing this for free.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just incredible to me that he is like been like, yeah, we're doing this. This is great. Even when we suck at being on schedule because you're a diva.
I am the princess.
But we just appreciate that so much, and we hope that he will stick with us.
Sure. Yeah, we definitely appreciate it because it's a lot of little technical things that we don't
anything.
specialize in.
Guys, learning content creation is just making my little pea brain freak out.
I don't know why you keep saying you have a pea brain.
It's just, I feel
it's a terrible vegetable.
But it's sweet. And green. And
yes.
small.
Sweet, green, and small. You love to see it.
But it's a lot. So having someone who went to school, is knowledgeable, knows how to fix stuff when we screwed up.
Does sounds.
Super beneficial. So we hope that he will stick with us.
We appreciate it immensely.
We appreciate it. Yeah, I think that's a great way to kick off the new year.
Yep. On that note, we have to go because the dragon just flew over. There's another quest available.
A new
quest.
Is that Thomas the Tank Engine?
That's a niche reference. I barely got that one.
Thank you for listening to Love, Food, Hate, Money. This podcast is edited by John Watkins of Feathered Fiction Studios. He also does our original music. You can reach us at hello@lovefoodhatemoney.com or on Instagram at lovefoodhatemoney. We are selling merch still. We have some t-shirts and stickers. We'll hopefully have those up on the website soon. And thank you so much for sticking around with us. And we hope that you had wonderful holidays and that this is a great new year, new start for you.
Thank you all very much. Have fun. Be safe. The weather outside is still frightful. Bye.
Bye.
I made a mess.